Hey YouTube, Mark Coffman here, and today I am going to be reviewing the Centofante from Spyderco. This was sent to me for review by Goondocks, and he wanted me to check this out. And for me, I have actually loved this knife. Sadly, this knife is almost $100. And I actually remember when this was actually around 70, low 70s. And for me, I thought that was a great deal, but now almost $100, this thing's pushing the envelope for me. Really it is. But forget that. Let's just take a look at it. Now, this knife has actually been around a long time. This has been around since the early 2000s, and it has basically gone unchanged. You get a tip down or tip up pocket clip. You get the Boyd dent back here for the lockup, and you get a really slim package. This blade stock is super thin. It is almost or as thin as my Chaparral that I had in the past. Now, compared to a Chris Reeve large Sebenza, you can see that it's going to be a little bit smaller. But I have to say, if I had to choose between a Spyderco Delica or a Spyderco Centofante, I would have probably have gone with this if I had held this one first. This is my first experience with this type of knife, and for me, I've had many Delicas, and I wish I had just bought this because this makes me more happy having this in my hand than a Delica. Now, when it comes to a more standard knife, this one I've actually been pulling out more and more. This is going to be my standard size ratio knife. This is something you can get at any Home Depot or Lowe's or anything like that. And for me, I think it's going to be a good size comparison knife. So there it is against the Milwaukee Fastback, and pretty much the same size if you really look at it. When it comes to the blade length and everything, and with this belly, you're going to have about the same cutting surface there. Now, for me personally, this knife has been wonderful. It's been a dream to carry. This thing is so nice to carry. These scales are really smooth, so this coming out of the pocket and going in is very nice. And I was very surprised to see that this is not just a sticker or something that'll rub off. This is an inlay, okay? This is actually inlaid into the handle. You can see there's a little bit of spaces there, and it's not perfectly put together or fitted, but it's an inlay. And it's not going to shear off or fall out if you're careful. You could also just glue that back in if you really had to. Now, when it comes to the steel, you're rocking VG10. This steel is fantastic. I've only stropped this in my carry, and this one, out of all the ones you sent me, Goondocks, is the one that I've enjoyed the most and carried the most. Now, of course, I didn't abuse it. I used it like it was going to be a loaner, and I really enjoyed it. Now, the only thing that I really didn't like was the fact that when you close this, if your knuckle or the fat of your finger's way out here and you're really closing it, this can just go like that, and it can really dig into your knuckle. I've already cut my finger a couple times, and I've had to be very wary of when I close this. I kind of have to gently do that and keep my finger down here, and then I close it. Now, in sharpening, I haven't sharpened this, but the thing that I love to see on this is that it has a sharpening choil. Now, my question is, why doesn't Spyderco do this on all of their knives? Well, it's because they think material's going to get caught in there, but it's never happened to me. And for me personally, this choil is so small that that's really not going to be a problem. Now, this steel and this blade grind is fantastic. This is a very shallow hollow grind on this, and for me, it is a absolute slicer. It's been fantastic. The jimping here is usable and very effective, and then you have this nice big scoop here for draw cuts, which came in handy. I mean, this is a really nice big spot for your finger, and you can just put it in there and do all the cutting you need to do. Then you have this really great swedge here, which makes piercing really a joy. When you're cutting into cardboard or cutting into a very heavy box or anything like that, this swedge really allows this to get under there and cut. Now, when it comes to the tip, it's coming down to a very sharp tip, but you have this swedge and you've got a little bit of meat here, so you have a strong tip, even though this blade is very thin. So I thought you guys would enjoy seeing this video, and I got to choose this one out of the ones he offered in the BPEX group. And to be honest, I may pick one of these up, but I'm definitely going to probably pick it up pre-owned. So I thought you guys would enjoy this video. Till the next one, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.